So for the next new iPad mini, it looks like Apple are finally going to do it and give us a massive upgrade inside the iPad mini, and we could also be seeing OLED screens in the future. But before that, the iPad mini could become the iPad mini Pro. I want to share with you all the details about this, including the specs, the release date and price for this new iPad mini 7th generation. So just reflecting on the last month or so, Apple have updated their most powerful iPads out there. We have the new iPad Air, what now has the M2 inside of it, and we have those brand new OLED iPad Pros 2 with the brand new M4 chip inside of that. But what about the iPad 11th generation, and what about the iPad mini? Well, the 11th generation iPad I'll talk about in another video another day, so if you want to find out more information about that, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell too, because I'll be making a video soon about it. But today we're going to focus on the iPad mini 7, what is going to be coming out in 2024. So first of all, let's talk about this leak then, what we can see right here, saying that Apple are looking to bring out an OLED display inside the iPad mini. The only one sort of downer here, if you look right here, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting the OLED display inside the iPad mini until 2026. So this probably is going to be the next generation of the iPad mini. So the current iPad mini exists right now, very similar to the one that's right next to me here. Well, that was probably going to be retained this time round, and that the OLED display will only be coming to the iPad mini on the next generation. So sadly, nothing new there. We're still going to be probably getting the same display type that we have right now. Another question that a lot of you guys have been asking is, why can't Apple put, say, the likes of, say, the M2 or even the M3 inside of the iPad mini? Why don't Apple just do that? And the main reason is to do with its size. Being that it's only an 8.3 inch display and the body's not actually that big, then obviously putting, say, an M2 or an M4 inside of it would really drain down the battery really quickly inside of it. Obviously, some of you are going to say, why don't we just clock down the speeds of the M2 or, say, the M4? Well, funny enough, if you did that, you'd start be going into, say, the A18 Pro kind of territory, like what we have in the iPhone 15 Pro models that we have right now. But this is an interesting thing to say here, that possibly with the next generation of the iPad mini, we may actually get a Pro chipset inside of it. This could be the A17 Pro inside of this iPad mini, what would be really exciting to see. But the other possibility is it could actually be the brand new A18 Pro coming inside of it. In fact, we've actually had a leak right here that Apple are looking on making an A18 Pro and an A18 at the same time inside of the new iPhone 16s. So this would be the A18, the iPhone 16s, and then the A18 Pro inside of the iPhone 16 Pro models that we're going to get. So Apple could bring out the A18 Pro inside the likes of the iPad mini, and this would essentially make it into an iPad mini Pro. But the other thing what Apple could just do is just put the normal A18, what comes out this year, inside of this iPad instead. Now, for everybody else who's saying, well, why don't Apple then say put the A16 inside of it? Well, this is probably unlikely going to happen too, because normally when Apple bring out an iPad mini, it normally has the most current and up-to-date A chip inside of it. So just like last time, it came out the same time the A15 came out in the iPhones, and we got an A15 in this iPad mini. So this is what I'm saying, it's unlikely that it would be an A16. It's more likely to be the A17 Pro if they're going to use last year's chip, as it were, or it will be the normal A18 or the A18 Pro going inside of it. And this will probably be the major big upgrade we will see inside of the iPad mini. But for any other big changes on this iPad mini, we might get a Pro Motion display if it becomes the iPad mini Pro, but only expect it to be normal LED kind of screen with Pro Motion. Don't expect OLED, and don't even expect mini LED potentially inside of this iPad. But only if we get a Pro chip inside of it, it would probably get Pro Motion inside of it, going up to 120 Hz with that If not, we'll be stuck with the standard sort of 60Hz display. And also one other change we've been told about is that obviously they're actually going to manufacture the screen a little bit differently this time to stop from that jelly scrolling effect. And also probably the iPad mini's actual camera, the selfie camera or the center stage camera, this will be moved to the horizontal sort of side now, because this is the last iPad to actually get this change. So this will probably be happening as well later on this year. So then guys, just quickly, quite a lot of us, including myself, always like to buy, say, the baseline sort of MacBook or iPad Pro that is available, because going up for more storage costs us even more money. Well, the good news is there's a solution to this, and this is from Charge. This here is the brand new Charge Disk, what is an enclosure where you can put in your own M.2 NVMe 2230 SSD inside of it. So this is the smaller type of NVMe what is available right now, and for example it exists like in Steam Decks and things like that too, but it's also great for a small mini enclosure just like this Charge Disk enclosure that we have right here. What makes this enclosure different is that it's so tiny, it's pocket sized and only weighs 24 grams, and on top of that it has a cooling fan inside of it too to actually cool down the NVMe SSD down to 20 degrees. The enclosure allows you to transfer up to 10 gigabits per second, and it allows you to, say, transfer a 4K movie in under 2 minutes. The enclosure is also cable free, but what you can also use is this cable here, what is USB-C to USB male on one end, and also you get this protective rubber case too to protect the enclosure as well. It's a completely tool-free SSD assembly, so no screwdrivers needed whatsoever, and also there is also a write protection mode on the side of the enclosure too. And say that you even want to do ProRes recording on an iPhone 15 Pro model, well, as you can see right here, this is perfect for this. This is definitely one of the best tiny disc enclosures I've ever seen. And if you want to find out more information about this Charge enclosure, make sure you check out all the details that are in the description of this video, and I'll also be providing a link in there too. And with that again guys, let's go back to the main video. So next of all, let's talk about the release date then for this iPad mini, when we'll be able to get our hands on it. Now, most likely Apple are going to be doing an event in the sort of early teens to mid-teens of September time, and this will be the iPhone event. And Apple will probably bring out the iPad mini at the same time as this event too. So we'll probably actually see it being launched here with that A18 or that A18 Pro chip to go inside of it. So look towards around that sort of period, and you'll be able to get your hands on it probably about a week later or so. So this will probably be the sort of end teens of September time, or the sort of early 20s of September time in sort of date wise. That is when you'll be able to get your hands on this brand new iPad mini. So next of all, let's talk about then the actual price for the iPad mini and what we're going to get there. So most likely with the iPad mini, it will probably start at the same price as $499 US, but this time round we may actually get a starting configuration of 128 gigabyte option, and also the ability of getting a 512 gigabyte option too, because right now it's 64 gigabytes and also it's 256 gigabytes. So it might be one tier higher, what is really good news to hear if Apple do this. But there again, if Apple decide to make this a mini Pro model, then expect the price to probably go up probably by about another $100 again. This is if we do get Pro Motion inside of it, and also let's say the A18 Pro inside of this Mac Mini too. It's probably going to cost about around that. It'll be less than an iPad Air, but obviously, yeah, it would probably be more than what the current iPad Mini is available right now at. But that is everything we know for the brand new iPad mini. What are your thoughts on it? Will you be getting yourself the iPad mini 7, what's coming out in 2024? Or will we be skipping and getting something different? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also guys, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons too, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell as well. Until next time guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care now. Bye bye.